2025, Unveiling its secrets of the year of the snake. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of Live Wiser, Not Smarter. Now, the Chinese New Year is approaching, and there have been some videos talking about the Chinese New Year and the year of the snake. And some of them are presented by Asian people like myself. However, many of them are dealing with a kind of cultural concept or traditional concept of the Chinese New Year and how you can apply the concept of the year of snake for your personal growth or financial success and so on. However, this year, 2025, is very different. It is nothing like any other year. So if you are applying the old method, it will not apply. For example, the definition of success changes. So if your idea of success is based on the old concept, it will not help you this year. Therefore, this video is very unique. It will be different from any other videos. So please watch the video until the end. So the Chinese New Year is a week away on January 29th. And then this year, it is the year of the snake. And then January 29th is the new moon, and it is the new moon in Aquarius, which means it is related to this Pluto in Aquarius age. And this year in 2025, without talking about Pluto in Aquarius age, you cannot really make the difference. So I'll be sharing with you first about Chinese New Year's, what Chinese New Year's are all about, where they are celebrated and what people do during the New Year's holidays, and how they concern the Westerners, because this is the Asian festival. So does it matter to Westerners? And I think it does, and I will tell you why. And the year of the snake, the meaning of the year of the snake, the characteristic of the year of the snake, including the meaning of snake as an animal, how significant snakes are in many cultures around the world, and how the year of the snake align with the energy of the Pluto in Aquarius. And finally, how you want to shift your directions according to the year of the snake during the Pluto in Aquarius. Those of you who just discovered this video today, this is the Ikigai Diet channel, which is a health and longevity channel. We usually cover things like diet, exercise, mindset, and sometimes we cover Japanese blue zones because there are several blue zones in Japan other than Okinawa, and we cover from traditional Japanese health method to modern Japanese health trend such as chokatsu. So basically, this is a channel about how to increase health span for people over 50 or 60. So if you're interested, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Okay, so what are Chinese New Year's? It is called Kyu Shogatsu in Japanese. Shogatsu means the New Year. Kyu means old. So it is the old New Year because we don't celebrate it in Japan anymore. We used to, but now we only celebrate Shogatsu, which is celebrated on January 1st, which is a very big event in Japan, but we don't celebrate this Chinese New Year anymore. So it is called Kyu Shogatsu, and it is based on the lunar cycle. Therefore, it is called the Lunar New Year too. Now, it is celebrated in many countries in Asia, such as China, Taiwan, Korea, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore, and Indonesia. And of course, there are many overseas Chinese around the world, including Europe, North America, Australia. So Chinatowns in those countries, people celebrate this new year. That means significant number of population celebrate this holiday worldwide. So it has a significant impact on the collective consciousness. And this is based on the Chinese zodiac, and each has an animal such as rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, sheep or goat, monkey, chicken or rooster, dog, pig or wild pig. And then each animal represents each year. For example, this year, 2025 is snake. But last year, 2024 was dragon. And then next year, 2026 will be horse. And then so there are 12-year cycle. Now it began with rat on 2020 and end with pig on 2031. That means in 2032, it will be rat year again. Now, for the details of the dragon year, like last year, please watch my other video. It's called Thrive in the Year of the Wood Dragon and the Age of Aquarius. Okay, so this is based on the lunar cycle, and usually the new year takes place on the second new moon after winter solstice. Therefore, usually it is the end of January or the beginning of February. This year, it will be on January 29th. So this is the date in Asian region. So the new moon itself, maybe some part of the world, it will be the 28th of January. But because many countries celebrate this festival, is located in Asia, 29th is the official date of the New Year celebration. But if you live in North America or somewhere, you should check with the local community, local Chinese community, so they could have their festival on the 28th as well. And anyway, people do celebrate the New Year's Eve the day before, so you can kind of expect some kind of celebration going on, within the 2 or 3 days around the 29th. And then what they do is they have a big parade like this, or family get together and have, dinner and things. And they usually wear red clothes because red is supposed to be a lucky color. Or they visit temples, like Taoist temples, or some of them visit Buddhist temples. So why does it concern the Westerners? It's an Asian festival. Why does it matter to you? Well, because it is based on the lunar cycle, which means it is based on circa-monthly rhythm, which is one of the natural cycle like circadian rhythm and circa-annual rhythm. Now, in the health and longevity field, we often talk about ancestral living. It is good to live like ancestors because our bodies evolved over millions of years to thrive in a lifestyle that is vastly different from our modern sedentary existence. So during this kind of hunter-gatherer period, our kind of original makeup was sort of built, and we still respond based on this makeup today in 2025. And the concept of hormesis, that is a good example. Hormesis is a kind of a stress, like a small stress, if it is applied, it is actually good for your health. And a good example is fasting. So if you practice intermittent fasting, it is good for your health and longevity. And this is because back in that period, many people were hungry. You didn't have a constant food supply. When you are successful at hunting, you had a feast. But other days, you stayed hungry. So you had a repetition of being full and being hungry all the time. And that was how our body was built to react. Another example is exercise, because around that time, people moving around all the time. They were running around or walking around and hunting and picking up fruit and things. And therefore, today, if we exercise, we basically mimic the lifestyle of the ancestors. And the same thing is true with heat and cold exposure, because around that time, people constantly exposed to heat and cold. There was no heating or air conditioner at that time. And the same thing can be true about the natural cycle. So it is more natural to live according to circummonthly rhythm. And that is why many of not only ancient cultures, until recently, many cultures used the lunar calendar and lived according to the lunar cycle. Okay, so the year of the snake, what does it mean? First of all, when you see snake or when you hear snake, many of us, have a kind of negative feeling. And I personally feel afraid of snake and I don't like snakes. It looks really revolting and scary. But snakes are considered to be deities in certain cultures or in many cultures. In Japan, for example, they are considered to be protectors of a house or a shrine. Now, I live in Honminka, which means the old house, the traditional Japanese old house. So not so much in modern houses, but in old houses, usually snake lives in the house somewhere, either in the attic or the bottom of the floor or somewhere, and they are considered to be a protector of the house. So when I moved into this my Honminka, so I was doing some electricity work. I mean, I was having electricity work done by an electrician. And then, so he was doing some work in the courtyard. And then he saw a snake. So he just called me, hey, 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 please come. Can you move that thing? I cannot really do my work. He said, oh, so I didn't know what to do. And then he said, okay, so I'm going to call my dad because my dad knows this kind of thing. And basically, he's a family electrician. So his dad is an electrician too. So the dad came and he said, oh, don't touch that. This is the protector of the house. You shouldn't touch it. But it is lucky for you. It is considered to be lucky to see the protector of the house. Eventually, the snake went away, so the man could do his work. And in a Shinto shrine, too, snakes are considered to be protectors. You often see snakes in the shrine for strange reason. And then there are certain shrines that worship snake, especially white snakes. And in India, you have like a Shiva god who is often accompanied by snakes. And that is called Nagas. Powerful serpent beings are prominent in Hindu spirituality. They are often associated with water, fertility, and protection. And in Native American cultures, many Native American tribes revere snakes as symbols of healing, transformation, and connection to the earth. And in the ancient world too, for example, in ancient Egypt, the cobra was a powerful symbol of royalty and divinity associated with the sun god Ra and other deities like Wajet, protector of Lower Egypt. And in ancient Greece too, Asclepius, the god of medicine, was often depicted with a snake entwined around his staff, the Lord of Asclepius, still a symbol of medicine today. Snakes were also associated with healing and renewal due to their ability to shed their skin. So Asclepius, this is the one, and then the Lord of Asclepius is the one. You must have seen these images before, I'm sure. In Mesopotamia, Ning Shishida, a god of the underworld and vegetation, was depicted as a serpent god. And Mushushu, a dragon-like creature with a snake-like body, was a protective deity. So basically, the snake is a symbol of ancient spirituality before Christianity. Now, come to think of it, no wonder why snake was depicted as a kind of evil being, like deceiving Eve in Christianity for the political reason. I mean, it's kind of easy to assume during that time, if the Christianity was to become the number one religion in that time, and all those people are believing in ancient spirituality, and then the best way is to make their god evil so that they'll come to Christianity. I mean, for if you think about the political reason, it is quite possible. But anyway, this ancient spirituality has a lot of wisdom. So they are the one that had this holistic understanding of health, the connection between mind, body, and soul. And it is still relevant in today's pursuit of health and longevity. Now, so let's look at some of the characteristics of the ear of the snake that I have been sharing with you in the past videos too. So I made a whole bunch of videos about 2025, and then I always talked about the ear of the snake, and I gave you those three keywords. So one was wisdom, and two, transformation, and three, intuition. Now, let's look at the meaning of those keywords more in detail today. Wisdom. Snakes are often seen as wise and insightful creatures, perhaps due to their observant nature and association with ancient knowledge in many cultures. This is often linked to their ability to make calculated decisions and navigate the challenges with a calm demeanor. Transformation. The snake's ability to shed its skin is a powerful symbol of transformation, renewal, and rebirth. This resonates with the idea of letting go of the old and embracing new beginnings. Intuition. Snakes are often perceived as intuitive and perceptive, able to sense subtle cues and navigate complex situations with a deep understanding of their surroundings. This connects to the idea of trusting your inner voice and making decisions based on instinct and gut feelings. Now, gut feeling. So remember in the last video about brain, I talked about the gut-brain connection, and I said that I had a feeling that somehow gut was connected to the right brain. And right brain is very much, the intuition is very much part of the right brain activity. So I talked about right brain and left brain. So which are right brain is like responsible for creative, intuitive, artistic, nonverbal, emotional, and imaginative activity, and left brain is responsible for logical, analytical, linear, verbal, factual, sequential activity. And if you look at the science and spirituality, science is more left brain and spirituality is more right brain. And I said keeping the balance between the two was critical. And that was the common understanding in the ancient period when they had this holistic health, the integration of mind, body, and soul. So they had the same understanding that the balance between the two was important. Okay, so letting go of the old and embracing the new beginnings in the transformation. So what does it mean? What does the old mean and what does the new mean? Now, we need to look at Pluto in Aquarius age. So, what is that? What is Pluto in Aquarius age? Well, Pluto, the planet, entered Aquarius on November 19th, 2024, and stays there for the next 20 years. So according to the astrology, this is the astrological concept. Now, last year too, so I talked about the Pluto in Aquarius age last year too, because Pluto was in Aquarius for a certain period in 2024 too, like half a year or so. But this year is the first year that the Pluto stays in Aquarius for the entire year. In fact, not entire, for the next 20 years. So this is officially the beginning of the Pluto in Aquarius age. And Pluto brings a massive change, a huge transformation. Now, let's look at the past history. So the last time when Pluto was in Aquarius. So again, it is about 20-year period. So it was between 1777 and 1798. American Revolution and French Revolution took place. And before that, it was 1532 to 1553. And the Reformation of the Church and the establishment of the Church of England began under the reign of King Henry VIII. So both are kind of like a revolution. So here, basically the church, the Catholic Church had the power, but that power got weakened. So it seems to have a revolutionary energies and the power topples. So what's going to happen this time? I don't know, but it seems to be whoever is in the top of power structure topples. And Pluto is a destroyer. It does destruction and rebuilding. So destroying the old system and rebuilding the new system or the new paradigm. And it will not be simply overthrowing the power with the top of the power structure. I think it will change the entire civilization, basically destroying the entire civilization, because now present civilization is a pinnacle of our progress and evolution, and we can no longer advance. There's a it is kind of too advanced now. And maybe this will be destroyed, maybe not completely, but it will be destroyed and rebuilt into something completely new. A new civilization will be born where the nature and technology coexist in perfect harmony, and we will have the perfect health and a sustainable lifestyle. And the key is the balance between the two, the balance between spirituality and science, the balance between right brain and left brain. And if we have the balance, if we connect the two, or the gut and brain connection, we will access to many more things and will have full knowledge of what to do, such as about health and sustainability, like what it means to be healthy, because we didn't have the full knowledge of health up until recently. And production, like how to produce food, how we can produce food so that we can sustain the planet and we can make every single person healthy. An economy based on this new production system. And finally, how to govern a happy society. Because today, whoever is leading this society are not intelligent people. If we are truly intelligent, you want to make sure that everybody is happy, and we can. It is possible using today's resources and technology to make everyone happy, maybe not wealthy, but comfortable. everyone to live comfortably. But instead, all those leaders are creating this massive gap between rich and poor. Just 1% of wealthy, incredibly wealthy people, and the rest of very poor people. This is not the work of an intelligent human being. So that will change if we have access to the full knowledge and become more wise and intelligent. But it takes about 20 years, so it will not happen just in 2025. It is just the beginning. So the year of the snake is the first year when the Pluto is in Aquarius, and the theme is transformation. Therefore, this is the year to initiate the process of big transformation. Okay, so how you want to shift your directions according to the year of snake during the Pluto in Aquarius. Um, so wisdom. Basically, I want you to read my book, Live Wiser. This is all about, how to be wise, and it is about wise biohacking. So if you are pursuing health and longevity, practice wise biohacking, not regular smart biohacking. So what is the difference between wise and smart? What do you think? What does smart mean? What does wise mean? Please write your ideas in the comment below. Okay, so smart, I think it means being efficient, finding efficient way to stay healthy if you are applying the smart in the field of health. But wise is being happy. Okay, so put in another word, as smart biohacking or regular biohacking is optimization of health. How to optimize your health, how to find effective, efficient way of staying healthy. Or ikigai biohacking or wise biohacking is the well-being of body, mind, spirit, and planet so that we can all become happy. Now, so for example, using this kind of smart watch is popular among biohackers today, and it is efficient and convenient. That is true. But does it make us happy? Are there any side effects? Well, I think one side effect could be that we might lose certain abilities that we have now. For example, remember Ashitaka, who is one of the main characters in the Hayao Miyazaki's animation film called Princess Mononoke? So Ashitaka sometimes senses something's going to happen a second before, a few seconds before. For example, oh, something is coming, or somebody is looking at me, or and so on. He kind of feels it, he senses it. We all had this kind of ability in the past that we lost now. And that ability degenerated because we don't use it anymore. We haven't been using it anymore. And then now we don't have this kind of ability, but we still have a physical sensation. We can kind of feel our physical condition, like, oh, this food is good for me, or this exercise is good for me. We kind of feel it without measuring. But if we started measuring all the time, if we started relying on measuring all the time, we will stop using this feeling, and then this ability will degenerate. Um, how about this kind of exercise? It's surely convenient. Now you can measure your heart rate, you can measure your speed, distance, everything, and you can even exercise on a rainy day. It's very convenient, but there's nothing like jogging outdoor because you have all those wonderful scenery, and you have the sun, and you feel the sun, you feel the wind, you hear the sound of birds and insects and other things, and kind of by running on the ground, you feel the ground. it has a multi-dimensional feeling that you cannot gain from indoor exercise like this. So wise biohacking doesn't look into only the convenience, but look at the whole picture. Okay, so how about transformation? So letting go of the old and embracing new beginnings. So get so the old culture, old mentality, old structure, we need to let go of that. One thing is, for example, do away with the competitive mindset. Competition was the key in 20th century or for a long time. People are basically competing all the time. That's why there's a huge gap between rich and poor. But even in the field of health and longevity, people still compete. People are still competing, like trying to be better than others and so on. Do away with that mentality. Or you can look at your personal habit. Some, habit that don't serve you anymore, then you can let them go and then start applying a new habit. You can start doing something new. Or if you belong to certain organizations or group or anything, and this organization was using the old system, and then maybe you can change it. Or if someone is trying to change, you can support that change. And intuition, trusting your inner voice and making decisions based on instinct and gut feeling. So gut feeling, that means right brain. So you want to do activities like drawing or music to cultivate your right brain. But meantime, you want to keep the balance between the two. So I'm not suggesting to just shift to right brain, but to have the good harmony between left brain activity and right brain activity. For details, please read Chapter 1, Wise Biohacking versus Smart Biohacking in Live Wiser, Not Smarter. The book offers a lot of other information such as diet, fasting, exercise, sleep, heat and cold exposure, and brain optimization, all based on wise biohacking approach. That's it for today. So in the next video, I'll share with you more specific action that you can take in the year of the snake during Pluto in Aquarius, as well as how to celebrate this holiday or what you can do on January 29th or around that period to welcome this new year. Okay, thank you for watching. Again, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya, the author of Live Wiser, Not Smarter. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel. And please leave your comment at the comment section below. Thank you. Well, I will see you in the next video. Live with your Ikigai!